Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today in day 3. Hey, I'm excited for today's devotion. As we have seen, God's promise or his covenant of salvation deployed throughout the Old Testament, starting with Abraham, moving to Moses and the children of Israel, and the resting in King David's line, and the foretold by the prophets of God. The Old Testament is moving us towards God's ultimate promise, which is wrapped up in a new kind of covenant. Jeremiah tells us that the covenant will be personal, gracious, and eternal. What Jeremiah is basically saying is that in the new covenant, our God will be knowable based on love, not on the law. Author Warren Worsib states this way: the old covenant tried to control conduct, but the new covenant changes character so that people can love the Lord and love one another and want to obey God's will. You see, this personal loving relationship that God gets back to the original intent that God had with men. Prior to God instituting the law, we see God telling Abraham that he will be his God. In other words, God was promising something personal. Humanity was created to know God personally, and from the moment of the fall in Genesis, the relationship has become fractured. But since that moment, God has been making a way for humanity to get back to know him, his love, grace, mercy, and kindness. And the path he chose for us to do that was through Christ in John 14:6. So there's a reflection question for you today. What does a personal relationship with God look like to you, and why? I encourage you, go back and read Jeremiah 31 through 34. It will discuss, it will show, it'll tell exactly what God is sharing with his covenant and his people. Have a great morning.